So here's just a quick side-by-side. A lot of people want to know the differences between the Gerber LMF and the Gerber PRODIGY. The PRODIGY is just the baby brother of the LMF. Very similar in design, as you can see, very similar in size. Just kind of give you the differences so you can know. Right here, you can see the MLF down here is just slightly wider blade. The blade is a little bit wider than on the PRODIGY. As well as you have these two lashing holes on the LMF that you don't have on the PRODIGY. This is just to lash to a spear or other, tactical type of stuff with paracord. The PRODIGY doesn't offer that option. And then as you can see back here, the PRODIGY is actually about 1.5 inches shorter than the MLF, and the MLF has a much larger, heavier glass breaker as well as the hammering position that we've already seen tested. So with the PRODIGY, all you get is the glass breaker, and then this is just hardened plastic right here. You really can't use that as a hammer, so all you get is the glass breaker with the PRODIGY. Weight and length, overall length of the MLF is 10.5 inches. Overall length of the PRODIGY is 9 3/4 inches. So you get about 3/4 of an inch longer total length with the MLF, and you can just see the handle is slightly bigger there and definitely feels better in the hand. As well as weight, the PRODIGY weighs 7.2 ounces. The MLF weighs 11.5 ounces. So about 4 ounces more on the MLF, and you can definitely tell it is a heftier, beefier blade in that respect. But other than that, same type of serration, same grind, same thickness on the blades themselves. They're the same thickness. You can see right there. The PRODIGY looks to be maybe not even 1/4 of an inch shorter. Very minimal amount shorter, the PRODIGY. I mean, less than probably even 1/4 of an inch there. But as you can just see there again, the blades, the PRODIGY over here on the right is definitely a thinner blade in its width like that, and then the handles themselves, you can just see there, the PRODIGY just has a much smaller. And I wear large size gloves. You can see if I put my finger on the thumb ramp, my pinky's kind of wanting to come off there, and it just isn't very comfortable. The glass breaker's all the way back in here. Just doesn't feel very comfortable this way, whereas with the MLF, you can see much larger, much more comfortable in my hand, fills out my whole hand a lot better, the MLF. So for large hands, MLF definitely does feel better in your hand than the Gerber PRODIGY. So those are just the side-by-side. Hopefully that helps you out a little bit. All right, so here's the side-by-side of the two sheaths. For the MLF and the PRODIGY, we'll look at the PRODIGY here very quickly first, and you can see they're very similar and almost the same quality in my opinion. So for the PRODIGY, you get a sheath that has a rubberized insert. It's kind of a rubberized, craton type of material, lashes to the nylon. You can take this off, so it's just this black insert right here, holds the knives very well. And then on the back, you have this nylon with 2 sets of MOLLE that you can weave through, as well as the belt loop, and then the lower leg strap that it comes with as well. And then the 2 nylon straps with the buttons that can hold the handle into place. So those very basic, but very nice. One of the better sheaths, particularly for a knife that costs around 45 bucks. It's one of the better sheaths for sure. So that's the PRODIGY one. Then the MLF, very similar. You got the same type of nylon, same type of buttons, 2 MOLLE straps in the back, leg hole, belt hole right there. You just get a nicer, more heavy-duty leg strap with the MLF. The PRODIGY just has a thinner one. I just couldn't find it here right now off the top of my head where it was. But very similar, very same quality. The only difference really is that with the MLF, you get a knife sharpener in the sheath. This is a sharpener right here, what I'm touching. You just kind of remove the sheath itself right here. Then you put your blade through and pull it through. It's better than not having a knife sharpener. Obviously, it's not going to sharpen your serrations. It's just going to sharpen, the other half of the belly. But for that, it's not bad. I mean, it's going to get, if you really dull your blade, it will get it back to at least, it won't be factory by any means, but it'll get it sharp enough to where you can begin to do your tasks again. So that's a nice added little feature that they do give you there. Other than that, it's almost the exact same sheath as the PRODIGY. So PRODIGY sheath, MLF sheath, very similar in design. It's nice to have that extra knife sharpener, though it's not make or break deal for me. That's not why I buy the MLF, is for the knife sharpener, though it is an added little nice feature. So there's the sheath comparison there for you. All right, everybody. So we've done the side-by-side comparison of the MLF and the Prodigy, both of the knives themselves and the sheaths. My overall opinion for you, again, this is just my opinion, it really depends on two things. One, your hand size. If you're going to go buy a glove and you wear small or medium-sized gloves, then the Prodigy is going to fit your hand fine, and in my opinion, it's just fine just to get that knife. You're not going to regret it. It's going to work great for you. It's going to fit your hand well. It's going to do everything that his big brother can do, with save basically the sharpener in the sheath itself, which in my opinion, you better have a different sharpener on you anyway than just the one in the sheath. It's just a little added feature, which is nice to have, but definitely you should have a secondary sharpener anyway. So in my opinion, if you have small or medium-sized hands, the Prodigy is going to treat you well and do just about the same amount of stuff that the MLF would do. If you have large or extra large size hands, you know, if you were going to go buy a glove and you were going to go buy a large size glove or extra large size glove, I would say the MLF all the way. It's going to feel much better in your hand. It's going to feel more comfortable, and just overall going to give you some more stuff. Is it worth the extra about $25 over the Prodigy? It's really up to you and what you're really going to be using these things for. You know, if you're going in the wilderness and you really like a serrated knife and you just like all the features that Gerber offers, sure, go for it. You know, you're not going to regret it. If you're using it more as like your bug out bag or get home bag, or, you know, if you live in a metropolitan area and you want something that if, you know, everything was to go crazy, power goes out, you know, or, you know, an attack, terrorist attack or something, you wanted something to have to survive for a week or two. It really depends. I would say the MLF might do a slightly better job, but out in the wilderness, you know, really, it doesn't really matter which one of these. It just depends really on your hand size, in my opinion. Other than that, they're going to treat you the same out in the bush, out in the wilderness. There's really not a whole lot of difference. The MLF will chop a little bit better just because of the extra weight, the extra 4 ounces. When you're hacking, it'll do a little bit better. But aside from that, they're really just great blades. If you're looking at these and you like them and you're like, yeah, I really like that Gerber, you know, you've decided you're buying a Gerber Prodigy or MLF, you're just trying to decide which one. It's really hand size and what you're going to be doing with it. So, I mean, both in their own rights, great blades, just really up to you. So hopefully this has helped you out in your purchasing decisions. Thanks for watching. Gideon's Tactical. Stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.